reading things. So this week we're starting off by adding a new daily to our list, the Jack of Trades aura. This is a really amazing aura that you can get with loyalty points. Normally, it would take a while to accumulate enough points to buy this, but since Premier Club is out now, if you purchase it, you'll get a whole bunch of free loyalty points. I usually like to purchase this because it's cheaper membership and the loyalty points are very nice. To use this aura, you just need to gain XP in a number of skills based on the tier of the aura that you have. The one that I have needs me to gain XP in 20 different skills, and what I've been showing on screen is the route that I like to take to accomplish this. Once you've gained XP in enough skills, you just deactivate the aura and then speak to Zwan here in Bertharp for an XP book. You can also do the aura additional times each day if you choose to spend Viswax or use the Premier artifact to reset it. I personally like to do this aura 3 times a day using the reset methods I mentioned, and I like to put all of the XP into my Herblore skill. Since Herblore can be difficult to train on an Ironman account, this is going to be my primary way of leveling the skill. To go along with me buying Premier Club, I also have an additional monthly to complete, the Premier Club Vault. This isn't the most exciting monthly as an Ironman, but it does provide some rewards, so we might as well do it. All you have to do is try to open as many of these chests as you can before the timer runs out. Now we're going to continue by completing some more quests. First up, we're going to do Kenneth's Concerns. This quest is pretty simple for the most part. The only annoying part in this one is the stealth sections. I'd recommend following the advice that the wiki gives here because this part can be a little tricky. Once that quest is done, we gain some mining and agility XP. Next, we're going to complete Legacy of Sirges. This is a pretty long quest that has a few combat encounters. The main one to prepare for is the first one, where you're going to want multiple combat styles. This is because the enemies will prey against the style that you use. A bit later on, you're going to need to navigate through Mayor Ditch again. Just remember that an easy way to skip most of the traveling is to get caught by the virus and then choose to get sent to the mines. Other than this, the quest is mostly just a bunch of running around and talking to NPCs. Once it's been completed, we gain a whole bunch of XP and a variety of skills, along with a blood talisman. While doing my dailies the following day, my friend really wasn't happy with me stomping scarabs until I'm almost dead. Don't look lost.
I'm looking.
I popped one while I was in the red.
700 HP, you're nuts! You have an inventory full of food! You're crazy.
Next up, we completed Anakra's Lament for some nice crafting, fire making, mining, and magic XP. Then we completed Hand in the Sand for a bit of thieving and crafting XP. Next up was Spirits of the Elid. The only thing to mention here is to bring a stabbing weapon, a crushing weapon, and a slashing weapon for the golems that you battle. Fight the white one with your stabbing weapon, the black one with your crushing weapon, and the grey one with your slashing weapon. Once complete, we get a nice amount of prayer XP as well as some magic and thieving XP. After that, we went on to complete Call of the Ancestors. This quest has a few puzzles that you need to complete that aren't too complicated. If you're having trouble with them, just reference the wiki for the solutions. There is also this section here, where you have to attack these approaching enemies by clicking on the ground near them. And with that one done, we gain a bit of magic XP and some raid reroll tokens. Next we completed Imp Catcher and gained a bit of magic XP. Then the Death of Chivalry was next on our list. This quest isn't too difficult, but there are a couple boss fights that scale to your level. The first one is against Fern, where whenever she does her charging attack, just make sure to move out of the way. The next one is against Dawn, and is a bit tougher than the previous fight. All you really need to do is damage her when you can, destroy the skeletons when she spawns them, and make sure not to stand in the purple clouds. Once we finish the quest, we gain a little bit of combat and prayer XP. There are some additional rewards to gain if you have high enough stats, but I didn't have them yet, so I instead wrote down in my notes to remind myself to come back here later. Next on our list was the Chosen Commander. This is a pretty long quest that also has a couple notable combat encounters. The first is against Zanuck, where you'll need to defeat her several times for several sets of dialogue. Then, near the end, you'll battle the Bando Savitar. During this fight, you'll have to defeat a number of minions while trying to collect the pieces of Zanuck's broken crossbow. Once you've assembled the crossbow, you'll need to defeat the avatar again, and then choose to use the crossbow's special attack on it during the dialogue afterwards. Make sure not to do any damage over time effects during the battle, because if the dialogue is interrupted, the avatar will regenerate and you'll have to defeat it again. And with this quest complete, we get a huge chunk of XP in agility, strength, and thieving. In a previous episode, I'd mentioned that I'd skipped completing Enlightened Journey because I thought I needed to get a willow sapling to complete it. Well, I finally got a hold of one and successfully grew and trimmed my willow tree, so it was finally time for me to complete this quest. Not too long into the quest, I realized the mistake that I'd made weeks ago. Why do I have... Oh, that's the... I didn't know he gives you a willow sapling. I waited so long to do this quest because I didn't have a willow seed. I'm an idiot. Why do we never finish reading things? Aside from that, this quest is very easy to complete. Next is another really easy quest, the Holy Grail, which gives us a huge amount of defense and prayer XP when complete. The following day was finally time for me to go get our gothic staff. I did this off stream and actually forgot to record the journey, so there's unfortunately no footage of me getting the staff. What you need to do for this, though, is head to the Mage Arena in Deep Wilderness. You'll need to complete the Mage Arena minigame, where you need to battle Collodion in a number of different forms. Following that, you'll receive your staff and cape. Then, in order to be able to use the Gothic Staff's special attack, you need to head back into the arena and cast the Divine Storm spell 100 times. The quickest way to do this is by using a wand and orb and switching to Legacy mode. Keep in mind that while in the arena, you are not safe from PvP, so it can be a good idea to bring along a friend like I did if you're a hardcore. Now that we have our Gothic staff, I felt it was time to start doing some low-level Reaper tasks. This is another daily that we'll be adding to our list. If you don't know what a Reaper task is, it's basically a Slayer task but specifically for bosses that you can only do once per day. To start doing Reaper tasks, talk to Grim in Death's office for a Grim gem. Then each day you can use the gem for a new Reaper task. For my first task, I was assigned the Giant Mole. The Giant Mole is one of the easier bosses in the game. To do this boss, you head to these roots in Falador Park. Once she spawns, you'll want to just deal damage for this first phase. After a certain damage threshold, she'll tunnel away into a random room. You can tell which one she's going to based on the direction she digs. In this room here, after a short time, she'll stun you and then have rocks fall on you from above. To avoid this, use either Anticipate before the stun, or Freedom once you've been stunned, and then just keep moving to avoid the rocks. In this room, just damage her and then move off the shaking ground when she dives. In this room, she'll spawn some minions which will attack you and boost her defense. Ideally, you'll want to kill all the minions with an area attack, and then start dealing your damage to her. In this room here, after a few moments you'll be able to stun her, so make sure to use all of your stuns. And once you've completed all the rooms, she'll return to the first one where she will now have all of the abilities from every room. Just use the tactics needed from before, and DPS her down until dead. On each kill you'll get these mole bits. You can hand these into the farmer by the entrance for some bird nests. Since I was having so much fun getting to fight things again, I decided to do some Dagannoth Kings to see if we could get a dragon hatchet. At a low level like I am, the easiest thing to do here is to safe spot Dagannoth Rex. To do this, you want to stand here before he spawns. Then once he spawns in, attack him and run back to the spot for a second. Then run around this pillar to this spot and you're good to go. The only thing to watch out for is Dagannoth Prime, because sometimes he can get close enough to aggro. If that happens, just teleport out. We stayed here for a couple hours and got 2 ring drops, but no hatchet unfortunately. Afterwards, we went to work on a couple more quests, starting with Quiet Before the Storm, which gave us some attack and strength XP when complete. Then we did All Fired Up for a bit of fire making XP, and then finally we completed the Lair of Tarn Razorlord mini quest. And that's where we're going to end it for today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Also, let me know what you guys think about this episode down in the comments. I also stream all of this account's gameplay over on Twitch, so if you'd like to hang out and follow my progress live, you can find me on Twitch with the same name as my YouTube channel, BreaCheese. And you can find my Twitch schedule down in the video description below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.